Yes.
Amazing. Yay. All right, here you guys go. We are going to be talking about the education of hydration and multi-pure filtration. Multi-pure is the company that we stand behind. We have researched dozens of options to invest in for the best for our home and our children and everything. And this is what we've landed on, and we're going to share all this with you. There we go. First of all, welcome to this presentation. I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of your day for being here to further expand your knowledge on the most vital resource that exists, in our opinion. I'm going to introduce my amazing co-host, dear friend, business partner, Miss Cassandra Galbier, and she is birthing reality in Instagram. So we would love if you guys, if we could all connect. We love using social media as a tool to learn and educate and connect with like-minded people across this whole entire world. But a little bit about this woman. She is a wellness practitioner and has been for many, many moons. This woman knows so much about just every way to really support our health, our wellness, and especially our future. This woman is incredibly knowledgeable with just different technologies to support our well-being and to further support our keiki. Here's that's children in Hawaiian, and this is a picture of her with her little son, sweet boy. And she is an advanced water technologist. She's an educator in the technologies that we use to help hydrate and create holistic hydration and to really instill the education and knowledge across the world. She's a global business mentor, and this woman has been traveling and homeschooling and sharing these hydration methods full time. In between Maui and Pennsylvania, she's homeschooling this sweet boy, her amazing son, that I have I love get to spend time with them. Our kids are best friends, which is so fun. We actually traveled the island yesterday on a little adventure. And so, yeah, it's been an honor to work with Cassandra. She is inspiring me every day. Honestly, the things this woman creates and the heart that she has just to help people and to really guide people in the direction that's best for them and their future is absolutely amazing. So thanks, Cass, for being here. I'm so excited that we get to do this together.
Thank you, Destiny. I am so excited to be here. I am just absolutely feeling grateful that this is part of what I get to do alongside of you as a friend and as someone who is so lit up about water as well. This is Destiny J. Parada. She is an incredible mama. As she said, our littles are besties and we love taking adventures together. She's an ocean lover and sustainability advocate. You can often find her walking the shoreline, picking up plastic and free diving. She has been in water education for 5 years. She has a wellness franchise. She helps other people develop their businesses as well as a mentor. She used to spend her time in restaurants and as a private chef here in Maui with some incredible people. And she turned her passion for being in service to actually being in service with clean water. So she helps families, individuals, mamas get launched with clean water and for our children, right? They deserve the best. And she saw this coming out of like not having really been mindful about what she was cooking and drinking and preparing the foods with as a private chef. And she took it on the complete other side of the spectrum and went really deep into the water world and now helps other families to really be educated on what our best options are and why and how. So Destiny, I am so grateful to be here with you today, and let's go ahead and let you take it away.
All right, you guys, let's go. We're going to be conscious of our time, and we have some other mamas that we're going to introduce here towards the end of this presentation. But let's dive into this. So why is hydration so important for your health? We know a lot of the basics, but what we don't know and what a lot of us haven't realized is that our temperature is completely regulated by hydration. Water is a protectant of our nervous system, and it cushions our joints. It rids the body of waste, and it keeps our skin moist. And a lot of people know that it also is helpful in curbing overeating. But with all that being said, it's really the quality of the water that's really going to sustain everything that you see right there. Studies show that drinking water can help alleviate chronic headaches and migraines, body aches, heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis, colitis, and cancer. Now, I would love if everyone felt called to drop a 1 if you know anybody, maybe it's yourself or someone in your family or a friend that, has struggled with any of this right here, any of these ailments. I know I have personally, and I know that I hear about this quite a bit, right? Imagine what we can do when we switch this element right here. Okay, so not all water is created equal. In 2009, the Presidential Cancer Panel identified many substances in our tap water that have linked to the development of cancer. In 2014, the Silent Spring Institute and the Harvard School of Public Health, let's highlight that, released a study identifying many chemicals in water that were linked to breast cancer. So let's talk about our current water situation, right? We are in a global water crisis. If you turn on the news, if you look on social media, you can't go too long without scrolling before you see something talking about the water. We have 19 million waterborne illnesses annually. This is what is happening with water. 118,000 waterborne hospitalizations. 6,600 waterborne deaths each year. It's close to 7,000 people that have died from waterborne illness, you guys. And this one hurts. More than 3.4 million people die each year as a result of water-related diseases, making it the leading cause of disease and death around the world. Now, I don't want to bring in like the doom, but you guys, this is a real situation that's happening, and these numbers aren't going any lower. All right, so what can we do? We can educate ourselves. So what we're going to do really quick, if everyone can just grab your phone right now. We're going to do 2 minutes. You're going to go to ewg.org/tapwater, and you're going to go to this tap water database. All right, we're going to take 2 minutes to do this, and you're going to see this pop up. It's going to ask you for your zip code. You can put in your zip code right now, and we're going to find out what is in our local tap water. Ready, set, go. All right, there might be a couple options for your area that pop up. See what's closest to you, or maybe see what is, I'm going to go ahead and choose what has the greatest population in our area here on this island. All right, so now you can scroll down and you will see something pop up right there. 10 contaminants that exceed health guidelines. That's mine, right? 24 local total contaminants. You guys want to drop in something there? What are you seeing? What's your number in that big circle? And what's your total? Okay, awesome. I mean, not awesome, but thank you for sharing, Robin. Whoa, Angela. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now, when you scroll down, you're able to see the EWG's health guideline and the potential effects on what these contaminants have. It's going to show you how many times it's passed the health guideline. All right, so you can come back to this. We're going to move on, but I just wanted to bring this up so that you can share this and come back to this quickly, because we're going to talk about what our tap water is connected to. Lots of arsenic. You guys, thank you for sharing this. Yeah, it's a lot of totals there. So, we we are solution-oriented people, and this has been one of the solutions that, our population has tried to come up with. However, this is an entirely different problem, and it is just as bad. So Americans consume 8.6 billion gallons of bottled water annually. 91 trillion, more than 91 trillion of bottles of water. 91 trillion bottles of water. This is Americans. I mean, that's wild. 36 ounces of water are used to manufacture only 12 ounces of bottled water. Look at that, 36 ounces of water in order to create 12 ounces of drinking water. Each year, 17 million barrels of oil are used to produce bottled water. That is 340 million gallons of gasoline to create bottled water. That is a huge waste on our economy and our Mother Earth, right? Only 1 in 5 bottles are recycled. The other 4 contribute to the 3 billion pounds of plastic water bottles added to the landfills each year. You guys, we live in an island. I can't tell you how many water bottles, caps, pieces of it I see washed up every single day on the island of Maui and any other island I visited in the chain, the Hawaiian island chain. It's absolutely devastating. We have a firsthand view of what's going on, and it's very sad. But we're going to talk more about that. So why are people choosing this, right? We've got misleading marketing. Due to the booming water industry, bottled water brands and even filtration companies use trendy marketing, greenwashing, huge gray areas. It's misleading and confusing to customers when it comes to quality, contamination reduction, safety, and pH. But let's take a look, right? Here's some headlines. Real Water, a premium bottled water recalled amid death and liver illnesses. Crystal Geyser bottled water admits dumping arsenic in there. Most bottled water companies are just tap water. They're just using tap water, and they're using all those gallons of gasoline to create that. They are making a ridiculous amount of money off of us, and it is not good to our health. There's a lot of interesting reviews out there, you guys. Like, go ahead and do your own research, and you'll see a lot of stuff come up on some other pretty well-known bottled water companies and filtration companies. So some of the safety issues with bottled water. Antimony is a trace metal that's used in the creation of plastic water bottles. It's been linked to heart, lung, and gastrointestinal diseases, as well as certain forms of cancer. We keep seeing that word pop up, right? Cancer. So the testing, there is one person at the FDA that regulates bottled water, and testing is often done by the companies itself, which doesn't seem fair, right? Seems a little sketchy. 60% of bottled water is tap water. Imported bottled water may seem convenient, but most of the times this water is pumped from indigenous land and aquifers. This is stolen water, essentially, that they are taking from our earth, and they are putting in plastic, and they are selling for a ridiculous price. So what is this expense happening? We are really paying for it, not with just our health, but with our pocket, right? Bottled water production profits $14 billion annually. Annually, that's $14 billion. The consumer overpays for water that's oftentimes toxic and doesn't meet our needs for cleaning and cooking food. How many people that are buying bottled water are actually cooking with it, though? And we're going to get into that later. So our health. Bottled water is loaded with chemicals and microplastics that are known to complicate fertility, pregnancy, and more. Microplastics are being found in wombs and placentas and breast milk. You guys, it is an issue, and we have a solution for that. But we need to really take control and really put a stop to this one family at a time. And let's talk about our planet, right? Our beautiful Earth. By the year 2050, we will have more plastic in our oceans than we will have fish. That is an accurate estimation. And if you've seen those pictures of the floating islands in the Indian Ocean, and all over our planet, really, at this point, it is absolutely devastating to see what's going on there. And the majority of that plastic is plastic water bottles. So we can talk about our other options of water that we have heard about. Sometimes we've used them. Let me know what you guys are drinking right now in the comments, and we'll get to it as well. So spring water, it comes from nature, right? There's a lot of companies that are bottling spring water. They're doing spring water deliveries, but it still must be treated with chemicals, just like your tap to travel with to you. These waters, they travel in plastic and they absorb the chemicals, all the chemicals that are in plastic, right? So even BPA-free plastic has something called BPX, which is really horrible for us to ingest. And there's a lot of tests that have been run on that showing just as harmful as BPA. So additionally, the average American spends $5 a day to drink bottled water that is oftentimes still contaminated and acidic. So what about purified water? This typically comes out of our tap and is filtered by reverse osmosis or distillation. Again, placed back into toxic plastic with chemical minerals re-added for taste, which causes you want to drink more, right? They add minerals, they're adding ingredients to our water that do not need to be there. I love everyone sharing in the comments. Thank you. So the average American spends $5 a day on bottled water. So let's take a look at what this looks like over 15 years. A family is $10 a day. 15 years, that's almost $55,000. For one person, it's $3 a day. Now this is drinking. This still, we haven't touched on cooking, right? For one person, this is $16,425. Now that's environmental harm. For one person, that's a lot. What about in-home filtration? We're looking at 9 cents a gallon. And then we also have in-home ionization, which gets to 73 cents a day. And we're going to talk about ionization next week, which is going to be really amazing. But look at this list right here, what people are spending on bottled water. Imagine that. We're going to talk about what the price is for our multi-peer, which we're going to really share in depth. Cass is going to go into those certifications soon. But imagine that. You think these families could use this extra money in a time like this? Absolutely. Where could that money go? This could go back into their community, back into supporting their health, anything that they need for their family. This is an expense that does not need to be made anymore. Our in-home filtration savings. Let's compare some different sizes and bottles. We're looking at one 20-ounce disposable plastic bottle of water. That's 20-ounce capacity. That's $1 average price, which is actually pretty cheap. One bottle of water is 0.05 an ounce. 1 gallon is 128 ounces. So one bottle of water is coming out to $6.40 per gallon. That's what you're paying per gallon if you're purchasing this water from packages of bottled water from Costco, wherever they're coming from. That's what you're looking at. So what about the cases? Look at the 12 pack. One case is 96 ounces. A case of water is $2.50 as the average price. That's actually looking pretty low at this point. It's probably more close to 5. One case of water is 0.75 gallons and it's $3.33 a gallon. So one case of 8-ounce bottled water is 37 times more expensive per gallon than one multi-pure AquaPerform filter. So a one-time purchase, that's what we're looking at. And that purchasing those boxes, those huge crates of that water is 30 times more expensive. We are literally dishing out of our pocket for this. So here's the problems with commonly used systems. Now, thanks you guys for putting in the chat what you're using right now. We're going to tap onto some of these right now. So electrolytes and minerals are calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. And these are essentially what your body craves. You need these naturally to be absorbed into your body. RO and distilled water are missing these essential minerals. Water pitchers and filtered fridge water do not hold the contamination reduction we need, just so you know. Reverse osmosis. This is one of the most popular water treatment systems that I have heard from people in the last 5 years, but it's literally the last one that we should be consuming. It removes the vital minerals from the water. Our body needs that to assimilate the food and all the nutrients that we're ingesting every day. It's very acidic. It is the same pH as Coca-Cola, Sprite, etc. You can do a pH test on RO. It is about it. It's yellow, green. It's never blue. It's never above neutral. The health issues have attributed the water to leaching. So reverse osmosis leaches from any container it's in. So if it's coming in plastic, the water's going to be pooling whatever is in that from that container into the water, and then we ingest that. And then it wastes close to half the water it creates. Reverse osmosis needs to create a lot of water, but you're only getting a small amount of that that's actually consumable. The rest is wasted through a discharge hose. And then there's 3 to 4 plastic cartridges that add to the landfill. They have to be changed all the time. And the remineralization cartridges that are on there, those are not real minerals. They are fabricated somewhere in a factory, put into this plastic container, and then pumped into the water for us to consume. We need the real minerals that exist in the water naturally. Distilled water. This can cause muscle spasm and dehydration due to the lack of minerals for the blood. This is probably the worst water that could be used for baby formula. However, it is suggested for it. It takes a lot of time and sanitation to create enough for one person's daily intake to consume, let alone cook with. What about water pitchers, Britas, right? This removes the surface odor and taste, not toxins, viruses, or bacteria. Brita pitchers have one NSF certification, and they are to remove the taste and the odor of the water, not the toxins and everything else that's in there that you cannot see, taste, or smell. These must be changed every 4 gallons. They're not able to create enough for cooking. They can, but maybe if you're a single person and you have top ramen one day a week and that's it. But other than that, you can't. It's not realistic. It is 40 gallons. I'm sorry. It changed every 40 gallons. Thank you, Melissa. Okay. And then there's microplastics that are found in the water from the plastic, right? We're opening the cartridge, we're putting it back in. There's a lot of movement, plastic on plastic constantly with those that we don't even think about, right? It's getting in the water. Berkey. This can grow mold and bacteria, and they've been in a class action lawsuit due to misrepresentation of filtration and what they remove as far as contaminants. So they're not easy to travel with. I haven't seen anyone walking through the airport with their Berkey, like I'm taking clean water with me. We get to do that with our filtration. And there's continued filling for use if needed. Like if you're cooking and consuming with Berkey water, it's a constant, you might as well have a hose in that thing 24/7 to make sure that you're getting that filtered water. And then we have spring water. There's contamination to the groundwater above the source, right? Many places there's animals. We have cattle above our spring area here in Maui. It takes time to collect, right? There's a lot of weight. Sometimes, again, are we cooking with the water from the spring as well? Are we using it just to drink? There's a natural element of living water that's absolutely amazing. And if you've had your spring tested and it's great, that's great. But it's important to make sure that, you consume that quickly, right? Natural living water literally dies after 2 to 3 days. And it often tests positive for arsenic and glyphosate because that is being found in rainwater. And that's coming down into our land and it's going into our groundwater. So in a test conducted on a Brita filter, check this out. So using average US tap water, the test found that the resulting filtered water had 10,000 times more bacteria than the average US tap water with no Brita filter. Why? We have Cryptosporidium, which is a microscopic chlorine-resistant parasite. Now read that. This parasite is now resistant to chlorine, and it can cause chronic or severe illness and even life-threatening symptoms in people with weakened immune systems, which there's quite a bit of people with weakened immune systems out there. We have Giardia. It's also a tiny chlorine-resistant parasite that lives in the intestines of people and animals. It's one of the most common causes of waterborne disease in the United States. This parasite can be found in streams, lakes, wells, recreational waters. It's been found in catchment systems as well. We have Legionella. This is a form of pneumonia that's caused by bacteria that's primarily in water systems. This can lead to Legionnaire's disease, which affects 18,000 people to the emergency room per year. The worst part about this disease is that it is specifically drinking water related danger. So this is found from drinking water. This isn't really something that people get from food like salmonella, right? This is specifically for drinking water. Everyone should take great care when drinking bottled water because the industry is so loosely regulated and contamination happens often. Natural water. Our natural sources of contamination, such as biohazardous animal waste, carcinogenic substances such as arsenic, lead, radon, and even uranium from things like volcanoes and other natural disasters, can make it into our natural water. Our man-made water sources of contamination include factories, industrial centers, farms, and other agricultural centers. There's mining, minerals, oil, and gas, and general human trash and waste. All of that can make it into these man-made systems. And then we have agricultural water contamination, right? I just read that 90% of the pharmaceuticals that are created in the United States actually go to the cattle industry, which these cattle are defecating, they're living on the ground, right? This is going into our groundwater and so on. Pesticides and herbicides are used to protect these crops and they seep into the groundwater as well. Through the soil, they enter rivers and lakes through the irrigation. This is contaminating our water with bacteria, viruses, and the pharmaceuticals used on the livestock. When you drink water that is contaminated with pharmaceuticals, it can be like taking somebody else's medication, in that there is no way to predict what the effect will be, right? And this is a small amount over time. We might not get a big dose of this, but when it's a very small, essentially a microdose over a long span of time, there's a lot of studies showing that that is a compound effect of what these are having an effect on us. So the pharmaceuticals, again, all the antibiotics that is used on the livestock, this waste goes into the ground, water streams. We have the pharmaceuticals that we use, Tylenol, Benadryl, things that are given to humans, right? This makes it into our water. This makes it all over our land, into the landfill. People are throwing away all of these pharmaceuticals and stuff into the trash that go into the landfill that seep into the ground and so on. It's a long ripple effect of, just these toxins that are able to get to us in the long run. And then we have glyphosate, popular herbicide. I know we all know this word, right? It's used to kill certain plants and grasses and manage how plants grow. So glyphosate is definitely in our water. It is tested positive often. And we have our solution, which is our AquaPerform, which actually guards us from all of this, you guys. So our municipal water treatment itself can result in drinking water contamination. So in order to render our water safe for human consumption, they have treating plants. They're adding disinfectants to the water to kill or otherwise render the harmful microscopic organisms, the viruses, the bacteria. Unfortunately, what they're putting in our water to kill all of that, we are consuming. Chlorine and chloramine, they can interact with otherwise benign organic matter in the water and they form new compounds. DBPs include harmful contaminants such as VOCs, HAAs, THMs. All of these are horrifically harmful to us. If you want to research what this does to the human body, thyroid, all of that, it's just detrimental to what we are consuming and what we're creating in our home and what we're bathing our children in, right? We're going to talk about that too. But with our bathing water, when the water's heated up, we are ingesting not only through our nasal cavities and our mouth, we're breathing it in, but our skin pores open up and we absorb everything that is also in that water very, very quickly. My favorite part, because I know there's some mamas in here. We cook, right? We go to the grocery store, we get all the good stuff. We're making home cooked meals. We're not eating out. We're good. I love cooking. But a household goes through an average of 15 gallons a day for preparing and cooking, etc. That's a lot of water that you're not even using for drinking. You're preparing that water for pasta and oatmeal and coffee and you name it. I don't know I would love to see what everyone makes with water in their home. I would love to get a list of that. Like, what is everyone going through with water every day? But foods such as rice, pasta, grains, vegetables, etc., it absorbs whatever's in the water when we rinse and cook with it. Cooking and cleaning produce, meats, grains, all of that with neutral to 8.5 pH water has been shown to preserve not only the flavor, but the nutrients. Tea and coffee for sure. We go through a lot of that. Um, Having an endless stream of clean water for bone broths, soups, nut milks, oats, smoothies, protein shakes, powder supplements, fizzy drinks, whatever you got, right? It is absolutely peace of mind that you are receiving the most bioavailability from your investment in your ingredients in your groceries, right? All those incredible powders, our protein shakes, whatever it is that you invest in that gets mixed with water, when you're using clean, clean water of a neutral pH, you're able to absorb what is in those powders so much more, right? And you're not absorbing all the stuff we didn't want to pay for, right? All the stuff we listed, the contaminants before. Thanks, you guys, for sticking around through this call. There's a lot of information. I'm going to end on this slide right here because this is something that so many of us do not think about when we think about clean water, right? Most of the time it goes straight to drinking. But listen to this. We have whole house filtration, and we're going to talk about how your home can benefit from that. So your laundry can also absorb what is in the tap water as well, along with the microplastics and all of that. We invest in research the most environmentally friendly and toxin-free detergent, right? We've got the sheets, we've got the little scoops. We're like going to the zero waste place, filling up our mason jars. But what if we can make sure that our source water is clean as well? And then what about showering? Let's go back to that because that's a huge thing I love to talk about. Again, our skin is the largest organ and it absorbs the same amount of chlorine and contaminants that is equivalent to drinking 3 quarts of tap water. So in one 15-minute shower, your skin is absorbing the amount of tap contaminants that are in 3 of these. 3. That's a lot. And that's just not us, right? It's our little ones. They're in the bath. Like, gosh, bath time is like heaven, right? That's when they get to play. They're doing all their thing. They're soaking in there. They are literally soaking in there, hanging out for sometimes hours, right? Playing with their toys. What if, like, can we make sure that that water is clean? Yes, absolutely. We can. So whole house filtration allows all the sinks, the showers to use cleaner water. The dishwasher will also use cleaner water, leaving less chemical residue on what we eat off of. Who has a dishwasher? Drop a 1. Did you ever think about the water that was cleaning your dishes? Can you imagine what that would look like if that water before it went through your dishwasher got cleaned? How incredible would that be, right? Now you got really clean plates. And then whole house filtration also ensures longer lifespan on pipes, tubing, etc. that the water goes through. This prohibits buildup like lime scale as well. So this whole house filtration option and really just starting at that point where the water is entering your home is absolutely amazing that we can offer this and that we can think of this. And we have one of the most incredible whole house filtration with multi-pure here. And also the lowest investment that I've seen for working with a company that has the standards we do. So I'm gonna hand it over to Cassandra. Thanks you guys for listening to that. She's gonna dive into the next part.
There, can you hear me now? Thank you so much, Destiny. Super grateful for that share. We learn all this, we find out the truth of what's in our food, so then we change our food, we find out the truth of what's in our water. So now we have to look at, okay, what is our best water option? And we're going to look at some solutions here. So our highest NSF certified filters are the best option. And maybe you're thinking, oh, I've seen NSF certification stamps before. Stick with me here. We're going to go into really what it means and what the differences are, because there's a lot of marketing things going on that don't really truly have the NSF full certifications. So NSF International is the most recognized food safety standards organization that exists. It's an accredited independent third-party body that tests and certifies products to verify that they meet the public health and safety standards. The products that meet these standards will bear the NSF mark, which I'll show you in a moment. But most importantly, NSF certification is not a one-time event. They have regular on-site inspections of manufacturing facilities. They regularly retest the products to ensure that they continue to meet the same high standards required to maintain that certification over time. So what's the difference between NSF certified or certified to NSF standards? You'll see this a lot on websites with some filter companies where they say certified to NSF standards, but true NSF testing and certification involves multiple stages and criteria for drinking water treatment systems. So when you hear certified to NSF standards, think about the unanswered questions that lie in that. Who performed the product testing? Was the laboratory certified? Were the tests performed in-house by the company? Who certified these test results? What was the testing process? And this is something that really gets me is, were the tests performed on a brand new filter, or were they also performed at the end of that filter's life? So sometimes companies will go in and they'll only test a few gallons. How many gallons of water got tested? Sometimes it's only 1 to 3 gallons of water. Now, can you imagine the difference between testing 1 to 3 gallons of water or the lifetime of that filter? And then what were the quality of the parts and the housing that were tested? And were there any contaminants that got added to the water? How often was the testing performed? So if you see certified to NSF standards, it really just leaves a lot of unanswered questions. We want to have the actual NSF certification. Here you can see the stamp up at the top right. This is the importance of NSF certification. We're looking at 4 specific standards for water filtration. The first one Destiny touched on, standard 42. This is the most common one. This is simply aesthetic. That means that it reduces the contamination that affects how it looks, smells, or tastes. So you might remove the smell and taste of the chlorine, but you didn't remove the chlorine itself in full. NSF standard 53, that is for health effects, contaminants that can affect our health when we ingest the water. This could be lead, arsenic, cysts, forever chemicals, asbestos, and we want to make sure that all those contaminants really get removed fully. NSF standard 401, this goes even deeper into emerging compounds and incidental contaminants. So these contaminants of public concern are for long-term health effects that have not yet fully been determined. So that means like DEET, prescription drugs that get put into the municipal water through flushing down the toilet, over-the-counter drugs, some of the agricultural runoff, right? We don't really know what those long-term health effects are, but they are emerging contaminants, and we want to make sure we remove that as well from our drinking water and bathing water and cooking water. And then we have NSF standard P231. This is for bacteria, viruses, and live cysts. This microbiological contaminant removal will go after, especially if you have a well that's testing for bacteria and viruses and live cysts, and it will remove that from your drinking water. So we want to make sure that we have not only certification from NSF, but that we're not just any NSF certification. Looking at this chart, last I checked, there's about 16,000 NSF drinking water certifications that are out there. But when you look at the actual contaminants by single listings, this is how they perform. So from 16,000 NSF stamps, only 1,874 actually remove cysts. And then that number gets even smaller, right? Just barely 10% remove lead. Mercury, even smaller. There's only 873. Asbestos, chloramine, it keeps going down, right? We get to arsenic, forever chemicals, and then we get down to PCB. That is polychlorinated biphenyls. This is a synthetic organic chemical used in industrial applications such as electrical equipment, coolant, lubricants, and those cause cancer, immune suppression, reproductive issues. We're seeing a lot of reproductive issues, and it's linked to that. Only 21 of the certifications can remove that from our water supply. And this is what gets even scarier, is that some of the NSF stamped certifications, it's just for one. So they might be certified under one of the standards that we just talked about, but it might just be for one of those contaminants, not the whole list of contaminants. So now we're going to get even more detailed. And when you combine contaminants, cysts and lead, there's only 1,000 out of 16,000 filters that actually will remove both. You add mercury, you drop down to 563. You add asbestos, you're down to only 225 filters on the market that can do that. And then you add the VOCs, and keep going down back to the PCB, the chloramine, and you can see how it gets smaller and smaller and smaller the more that gets added to that combination of contaminants. And the best option, you can see at the bottom, has the cyst, lead, mercury, asbestos, MTBE, VOCs, PCBs, chloramines, arsenic, forever chemicals, the microcystins, and there's only one company that can do all of those, and that is what we're talking about. That is multi-pure, and we're going to look at that a little bit more. But this chart just blew my mind once I looked at it. Out of 16,000 NSF certifications out there, we've got this one. So there's the stamp again at the top. It's important to note that each of these standards covers a wide range of potential contaminants. As I mentioned earlier, that mark does not guarantee the product's certified for multiple contaminants or anything specific. For example, you could have two products. Product A and B are both certified under NSF 53 for health effects. But product A is only certified to treat lead in the drinking water, while product B is certified to treat lead, mercury, PFOAs, trihalomethanes, arsenic, chloroform, asbestos, and the microcystin. So which one would you choose? Would you choose the NSF 53 mark for product A, which only treats lead, or for product B, which covers multiple contaminants? Multi-Pure is one of the few companies whose products are certified to reduce a wide array of contaminants under these 4 standards. So multiple contaminants under each of the 4 standards. And this ensures a comprehensive protection for your home and your family's water. If you go to our website, this is what you'll see pop up. And I like to share this. I know it's small and you can't really see what it is, but this shows you exactly what the performance data is and the percentage of reduction. When you go to a lot of other filtration companies' websites, they will just post standards, or they will post even like EPA standards, but they very often do not show details of what their test results are. You go onto our website and you'll get to see exactly how it tested under each standard. Multi-Pure is over 50 years old. Founded in 1970, it's the world's premier manufacturer and inventor of the solid carbon block filter technology. This provides superior performance that is supported by NSF certification. And Multi-Pure is committed to providing superior products and unparalleled support for our customers, one glass at a time. Our military uses this technology when it goes into other countries and needs to get military clean drinking water and access for the local communities. They literally take this solid carbon block, which I'm about to talk to, and utilize it. So how do the filters work? This is a question I often get. Is like, I don't get it. How does it take out all the bad but leave all the good? So here you can see this is what the filter looks like if you cut the filter in half. The outside would be white and you slice it right down the middle, and the inside of it is this solid carbon block. This is compressed activated carbon pressed down into a very solid block on the inside. And the technology here also includes something called adsorption. Now, you may have heard of a carbon block before. Most likely you heard of activated carbon or granular carbon. The difference here being is, if you can imagine a bunch of rocks and pebbles like in a stream bed, and if water was to go down through that, eventually the water finds the pathway, creates the pathway, even in a canyon, right, can create its own pathway and carve out through the rocks, and the water gets through. That's what the granular carbon does. This is a compressed activated carbon. So this traps particles as small as 0.5 microns or less. The compression process of this block, it creates a vast internal surface area, and this maximizes the contact of the water on the carbon. So all the water is going to go over that carbon. The larger particles are physically blocked by the dense carbon, and then the smaller particles are trapped based off of size exclusion. This is the microbial cyst, like Giardia, right? They get trapped there. And then we have the adsorption process. Think of Velcro and something that would stick. So we have a chemical process where the contaminants adhere to the surface of the activated carbon. There's a porous area. It's a large surface area, and that creates something called van der Waals forces. And these chemical bonds attract contaminants. So whenever the water passes, you can see through the arrows there, when the water passes through the filter, dissolved contaminants come in contact with that carbon, and then bonding occurs. So the contaminants get pulled into the carbon's pores, and then they stick like Velcro, they adhere to the surface due to the molecular attraction. This effectively removes without stripping the good minerals, which is what's so amazing about this. The solid block allows for a slow filtration process, maximizing the lifespan of the filter. And this also ensures that every single drop of water, when it passes through the entire carbon block. So one question that comes up is, how do the minerals end up actually staying in? And that goes back, a part of it is the size, right? We talked about the 0.5 microns, but calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, they all exist as a dissolved ion, which is a very small particle. And these ions are much smaller than the pores of the carbon block. So adsorption's highly selective. Adsorption selects and targets the organic contaminants, like the pesticides and pharmaceuticals, VOCs. And then the heavy metals also bond chemically to the carbon. So they're getting stuck. The essential minerals, though, they're not at all attracted to the carbon, to the surface of the carbon, plus the size of them, they're able to remain and go through with the rest of the water. So let me see, I missed the chat. Was there a question? Let me see. I don't think so. Okay, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to questions after this. So here we have the multi-pure filtration technology. This is so incredible. So check this out. You've got the shower on the top left, the bath, and even they have something for your garden hose. So you can, if your kids are playing on a slip and slide, or you're filling up a pool, or you want to water your plants and give them the best option, right? It's really for plants. I just, as a mother, think of the slip and slide. But the AquaGrow is for you to water your plants and give them the best of the best. If you're going to be eating out of your garden, you don't want to be watering it with all of these toxins. In the middle top there, that's our little travel unit. And then at the bottom middle, that is the AquaPerform, which I'll speak more on. This is the main drinking filtration that we recommend to have at the sink where you consume water from and cook with. And then on the far right, we have our whole house filtration. It's stainless steel, lifetime warranted, really incredible, and cheaper than anything I've ever seen on the market for how incredible this technology is. When you do purchase through MultiPure, you get a quadruple guarantee. So all of our products are backed by this customer satisfaction guarantee. You get 90 days for any reason. If you're not completely satisfied with your drinking water system, they will refund you 100%. There's lifetime warranty on the stainless steel housing and the pressure vessel. So the exterior housing and the interior stainless steel pressure vessel of the Aqualux, those are warranted for use and will be repaired or replaced at no charge. There is an accessories warranty for 12 months. All exterior hoses and attachments are warranted for use, and those are repaired or replaced at no charge. And then we have a 60-month warranty on the electronics and outer housing of this one you see here. This is the Aqualux. So this is the one that's specific for if you have water that's testing for positive for bacteria and viruses, then this is the one that you definitely would want to go with. And this has an electronic piece that is a 60-month warranty. So all of our kits come with these several different configuration options and adapters. You can set it up on your counter. You can have it come up through your little like soap dispenser hole. And if you want to install it under the sink. So everyone likes it a little bit different. You can see that the bottom right shows how you can install it underneath your sink. And then you would have the faucet coming out of that hole. or you can have the acrylic based unit that sits right on your countertop and makes it really easy to get your drinking water that way. If you happen to have an ionizer like a Conga machine, these hook up seamlessly to those as well. They go in a combo great. That's what I work with in Destiny as well. Okay, so we have this incredible offer that Multipure has for November and December. It's a holiday promotion. And for every drinking water system that you purchase, you can get this aqua shower for free. So this will remove all the chlorine from your shower water, and you'll be able to shower knowing that you are chemical free from what you're absorbing. So this aqua shower comes with your drinking water purchase. And on top of that, whoever invited you to this call has a 5% off code that they will give you. So you'll get 5% off the system and the free aqua shower. And really, once you start showering in water that doesn't have chlorine, you'll never go back. And then today they just announced, and Destiny and I were so excited that we can share this with you. I've never seen anything like this before. They have a Black Friday special for this week only through December 2nd, that if you buy a drinking water system, not only do you get the free shower filter, you get a coupon for a free filter. This is a digital coupon so that your next filter replacement will be free. That means you're getting up to 2 years worth of filtration whenever you buy this week. So this is the system that Destiny was talking about. This is the AquaPerform. The AquaPerform is the main product that we recommend everyone start with for drinking water. This has 86 plus NSF certifications. It's the gold standard in reduction. And one thing that's really unique is it removes arsenic without reducing the flow rate. So you still get a high flow rate with this arsenic reduction. It's the best quality at the best price. You get the stainless steel housing that's lifetime warranted, 90-day money back guarantee, peace of mind that now what you're drinking and cooking with is actually safe, and it's super simple installation. If I can do it, you can do it. So it says on here that it's a no-brainer because it would cost you 9 cents per gallon. But if you figure that you're also getting that extra filter for a whole extra year's worth of filtration, so you're getting 2 full years worth of filtration, it's way less than 9 cents per gallon. And really, you and every family in every home deserves a point of use filter of this standard. We do offer financing and payment plans, and whoever shared this link with you, they're happy to help you get that. That's right on the website through a third party. You can get 0% APR if you want to get started today, but you want to pay it off in installments. And for any of you that are really lit up, you're like, wow, I didn't realize that this is really how much water is affecting me and my family, and I want to share this now with other people. We do support families grow their own business based on helping people receive clean water. We all know water is life. So how awesome that we can actually share it with our loved ones. And this isn't your typical MLM. There's no monthly quotas. There's no rush to make a certain amount of sales at the end of the month. There's no stocking, no inventory. The products are in every price range. There's 0% financing available, and we're happy to mentor you and show you how you can get this into other people's homes and also get compensated for your time and energy sharing this incredible opportunity for wellness and water. We're going to just ask a couple mamas to step out that have tried Multipure and just to hear what brought them to it and how they like it. Kirsten, are you on here that you could unmute yourself and step out? I don't think Kirsten's here. I think she had to hop off. She's a birth worker. She's been on call for a birth for a few days now and in and out of that space. But she's also a sailor. She lives on a sailboat. She's a captain. She's been across the ocean a bunch of times and ended up having this precious little daughter over in Fiji before she came back to Maui. And she can't speak with us now, but she's an incredible woman if you're looking for a birth worker. What about Robin? Robin, you're still here with us. Do you want to step out and share a little bit about what drew you to upgrading your water?
Hi, everyone. I'll do my best. Right now is the craziest time in my house. So hi, I'm Robin, and there are so many different paths that led me to be researching water and clean drinking water. But one that I'd like to share with you all today is about the travel system that Multipure has. And Why I'm so excited about this, our family is we travel a lot for our daughter's medical needs. And when we're traveling, we usually lug around clean water with us. But we just recently added the third baby to our family and really didn't even have room in the car when there was just two kids. So we've been looking for something that makes it easier when we're traveling, or if ever, God forbid, we're in the hospital with our daughter, that we have something where we can easily access clean water. So when I started to dive back down the rabbit hole of water and clean water filtration, I landed in Multipure with not only the outstanding other products they have for drinking water, but really was interested in the travel option that they had, and love that it's a local company for me. So I'm actually in Las Vegas where Multipure is based, and I find that to just be really exciting that there is a company that it has been around for as long as Multipure, that is locally based, that I could explore if I choose to to go down and meet the people with this company. That makes it more, I don't know, touching at my heart than another company. That it's just right here in my backyard. Yeah, thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Robin, so much for sharing. And then we have Melissa Moon. Are you still on the call? Do you want to step out and share?
I am. Thank you. Hi. Um, so I've actually been drinking Kangen water for a really long time, like 10 plus years. I've been getting it where I go for care for my entrainment work, and just over the period of time, just felt the benefits, but was not able to utilize it on a consistent basis. And so when I was able to finally put a machine in my studio space, my upline gave me a pre-filter. And so that got me thinking. I was like, oh, that's interesting, because I am on municipal water at my studio, but I'm at well water in my home. And she's just like, yeah, it's just something that we do. And we, give this as a gift for buying the machine. And so I was like, oh, I just never thought about it. And then I met Cassandra, and then we were talking about Multipure, and it was just a no-brainer. I was like, absolutely yes. And as I've been able to dive further into this whole like realm of like filtration, it makes so much sense. And so being able to make sure that I am ionizing really good water. I've been a water connoisseur for a long time. I've stopped drinking out of plastic a long time ago. I'm very picky about what it is I'm drinking and why it is I'm drinking it. And so it's like, foundationally, we are water, and what we put into ourselves, we're going to get out of it. And so I am on a health journey, and I've been on a health journey for a really long time. I help others be on health journeys and really rediscovering that purity and that clarity from within. And so I'm just really grateful to offer Multipure as a piece of the wellness care that I offer for my practice members, but also for my own personal health. And it's been such an incredible journey to watch myself change and feel different from the inside out.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, once you get on the water train, right? And then you start to really go down the rabbit hole of all the options. It's pretty eye-opening when you start to consider it all. Thanks for that perspective. So now you have awareness, right? Awareness is that first step. And now what do we do about it? Knowing what's in our water doesn't change it. The only way to actually change what you're drinking, bathing in, cooking with, exposing your family to is by taking the step to make the change. So I would love to encourage you to reach out to the person who shared this webinar with you. The person who invited you to this webinar is the person to ask all of your questions, and make sure you get their 5% off discount code and check out those holiday specials that are available this week. Schedule a call with them. Decide what the best options are for your home. Do you want to look at whole house? Do you want to look at drinking water systems? Do you want to look at bath and shower, garden hose? And really just tune into what is the best way to get your family launched into this new way forward with water. So Destiny and I are so excited that we were able to share filtration with you as the foundation. We truly believe filtration is the foundation in your water journey. It's the best place to begin. Typical tap water, bottled water is, any of the toxic well water, spring water, that is taxing in our system. So if we're bathing in, cooking with, drinking with daily, all of that, those types of water, we're actually stressing our body out. So to put this filter on your water, you now have a foundation for health. But next Monday, Destiny and I are excited that we're actually going to also talk to you about what it means to activate your health through water, and that is with molecular hydrogen. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about water, go on this water journey with us, take it to the next level. You can join us next Monday at the same time. We'll have a Zoom link out. You can message us or get that from the person who shared this webinar with you, and we'll take this one step further. So if you have any questions, I'm going to open up the chat or chat to those questions now. If you want to show your face, you're welcome to do that. And just remember, reach out to the person who invited you here. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey of water education. It's so great to see your faces here. I know some people are streaming from Facebook Live as well. So thank you so much. Thanks, Melissa. Does anyone have any questions? Did you see any questions down there in the chat, Destiny, that I missed?
I think I tried to get a couple of them there. Yeah, so I know that we get the question about underneath the counter quite a bit. You covered that. Yes, the system can go under the counter. And what I want to share is that when it is installed under the counter, you can actually uninstall it and bring it with you when you travel as well. So I've watched so many of us I watch people bring their filter all over the world with them, hooking it up to sinks and faucets and bathrooms and just bringing their clean water. So it's possible. And I think that was it.
Oh, and you shared the picture. Sweet. Oh, wow. After 6 months. Amazing. Love it. Okay. So did everyone catch that filter picture that Destiny shared? That was just after 6 months.
Is that a municipal water source or well water?
I don't know. She typed it. I'll go see. But I know that when I changed mine for the first time on municipal water after 9 months, it was really, really bad. Yeah.
Yep. So Leah has the same question with continued use. So it's looking like, oh, I don't know how that popped up. It's looking like Destiny saying 6 months is ideal. Amanda thinks that that one filter picture was from Dallas, Texas, with some trips maybe in Hawaii and North Carolina. So yeah, you can start replacing your filter at 6 months. A single person that doesn't really share a lot of water and go through quite as much might be able to do about a year, yeah. But if you're having multiple people in your house, then looks like the 6 month mark is good. Any other questions?
And what we love about the subscription for the filters is that you don't have to think about ordering them, right? You just choose that I want one every 6 months and it shows up at your post office box and you just know that it's time to put that in. It's such a simple install for the filter and we don't have to worry about doing those triple cartridges. When is it? Putting the date on them. When that comes when that gets shown up on your doorstep, it's time to change it out. It's one of my favorite parts about the filter subscription.
Yeah, the Black Friday promo is up on their website. I believe it's multipure.com/promo, I think is what the actual website is. But yeah, if any of you are looking for it that already are in Multipure, I'm pretty sure that's where you find it. Anyone that still needs to sign up with Multipure, then whoever shared this link with you will help you get there. Awesome. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining us. It's so great to see some new faces and some familiar faces. And if you know anyone that needs the replay, let us know. Destiny and I can get that to you as well. And if you want to join and get the link for next Monday, shoot us a message and we'll share the new Zoom link for next Monday too. Thanks, Leah, so much. Oops. That ends on December 2nd, I believe. I'm gonna double check if it's like December 2nd at midnight on which end of that day, and I'll get back to you, Leah, on that one. Yeah.
But getting the free shower filter ends at the end of December, correct?
Yes, yeah, the free shower filter is good for November and December. It's just the free replacement filter that ends on December 2nd.
Yeah, so get those orders in and you're getting like a 3-for-1, 4-for-1.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, ladies, so much. I'm going to close us out. Thank you, Destiny, for sharing all your wisdom as always. And we shall see some of you soon.
Thanks,
Blessings.
everyone. Aloha.
Aloha.